I feel like I'm a little kid in the park.
And then we got Deb here for a second, and she's here.
Here's that takes.
Oh, this is
It's Deb right here.
Hey, how you doing?
okay. Do we have anybody on Zoom? Do I need to watch where I step?
If anybody shows up, she's Pam.
I feel bad because I got a camera.
That's fine. I had one guy one time tell me, hey, stay on the factory. He's like, okay, let me see on camera. As soon as I started, he dropped down the
Like that's how it is.
That's it. I'm a walker.
This is how. So this is how you get people hyped for a presentation. Okay. Yeah.
Got bags of it in your car when you get pulled over. It's like, oh, wait a minute.
We know what this is though.
Magic Microbez that makes gardens work.
Oh, give away.
It's nonprofit support. Yeah. Yeah, of course.
My wife did start a garden.
Yeah.
It's so funny to watch her do it. I'll be like, okay.
I'll talk a little bit about what she needs to do. But we also support it on top as part of this.
I just wanted to figure out how to plant pizza.
Pizza?
Yeah, make tacos.
So I'm still waiting for Harris, but we'll start with him already. So it might be a little bit of a delay. That's all right.
Oh, okay.
So-
I'll save some.
I know we did a hard time.
I did before you came.
Okay.
We are good to go whenever you're ready.
Good morning, everybody.
It
It doesn't look like this is gonna be an issue today, but if anyone is parked over here, please move your car across the street, but it looks like we're in the clear. How many people are here for the first time? Up high, up high. Welcome. How did you guys hear about 1 million cups?
From Devin.
Oh, supporting a friend. Okay, that's
Right.
it. We love that reason. How about you?
I went to 1 million cups at Daytona Beach.
Oh, brilliant. Oh,
I moved to Clearwater.
okay, fantastic. Great. Well, my name is Kate Heath, and I am your MC for today. I'm one of the organizers of 1 Million Cups Tampa. My day job here in town is with a defense tech startup called Certus Core. I lead marketing and communications for them, but I am also a coach over at Embark Collective. I'm the marketing and brand coach for our member companies. So always happy to talk about the startup world from that perspective afterwards when we're mingling, if anyone has any questions. So a quick overview, since we do have some newbies, about 1 million cups and what it's about. Love the segue that you were at another chapter and that's how you came to us. That's how the Kauffman Foundation works. So it's a nonprofit that started 1 million cups so that communities around the country would have a room just like this, where founders and would-be founders can come together, share their ideas and what they're working on, and get feedback in a really safe and constructive environment. So that's what we do here today. You're going to hear from 2 different founders. They're each going to get 6 minutes to present, and then they'll get about 10 to 15 minutes for questions and comments from you guys before we break up for coffee and mingling. Any questions about how this works from our new people? Okay, awesome. All right, well then I'm going to go ahead and let our first founder come on up here. He is in the back. He is dressed and ready to go. I mean, you look really sharp today. I appreciate the look. Blazer, a blazer sees a blazer.
It is blazer season.
So this is Mr. Farris Roach of Voda Cleaning and Restoration of East Tampa.
Yes.
And he is going to charm us with his 6-minute presentation.
Thank you. Oh, stop it. Get your time. Let me just hit record real quick because I gotta make sure I'm getting this because of course 1 million cups is special, but it's a little bit more special for me. I don't know if my 6 minutes this is my intro first, but I don't know if anybody can see it. Everybody talks about, the confidence they see in me and things like that. But the one thing that I always like to kind of put out there is that I suffer from social anxiety. So doing this it's just been an amazing thing to do. And I've been kind of dreading it, but I'm excited as well. So I'm super happy to be presenting in front of you and help me with my recovery. And hopefully I can show this to other people who may be going through certain anxieties and, show them that it is possible to stand in front of people and not totally freak out. So I am, and my clock started, but that's okay. I am Farris Roach, and I am the proud owner of the black owned, I love to say black owned, but black owned Voda Cleaning and Restoration here out in Tampa. We're your restoration professionals for anything water, of course, molding, fire, damage in general. We're in Florida. So, of course, when I came down here from Ohio, I said I wanted to start a business. The one thing I decided to do was restoration because, you know, Tampa had a couple hurricanes and money was flowing until I started business and the hurricane stopped. So I had to find different ways of trying to make money. But it also brought me to be able to network and be able to be with other professionals and showing me it's not just about what you do, but it's about who you know. So I'm just going to go through a quick blueprint of the recovery process. Y'all know, and I'm sure if you've been in Florida, understand that June is the beginning of hurricane season. Hurricane can be a scary word. To me, it means money, but to you, it can mean damage. I am the person here that is going to be able to provide you what you need to get through and recover that. So hopefully the clicker worked. We're going through, the clicker's not working. Oh, do I click here? Click here. All right, the blueprint recovery, since I'm waiting for that to clear, is for securing and restoring your East Tampa property before and after the storm. So here's the quick things that we go through. Yes, sir. Here's the quick things that you have to go through. Now, everybody should have a flyer on their desk. And I just want everybody to take that home because that gives you a checklist of what you need to prepare for hurricane season. So here's the process we go through. We start with the preparation. This is me coming in after your water kind of gets into the home and starts to invade your privacy. You got to prepare. I got to be that defense that you need to make sure it doesn't cause more harm. Everybody knows that water can turn into something worse, which is usually mold. Mold is the worst because it affects your health and it affects the sanctity of your home. So I make sure I prepare what needs to be prepared. I mitigate and I restore your home as quickly as possible. We have protective defense. I want to make sure your integrity and the structure is good. So I inspect the flooring, I inspect your studs, I inspect the roofs. Anything that possibly could have water on it, I make sure that I do it. But I also want to make sure that you are aware of the assets that you need to protect if you have a safe. But again, that sheet will show you little things that you need to do, like putting your important documents in Ziploc bags in case water happens, if you have a flood or anything like that. Logistical, you got to make sure your insurance information is in key. You can't go looking for your insurance when you're ready to pay for a $30,000 mitigation. So want to make sure that you are on that. The reality of damage is what you can't see. Water spreads everywhere. You come in and say, oh my God, my toilet overflowed and I see water on the floor, but you don't know that water probably has been all throughout. That water is now within inside your walls. So what we do, and that's actually me in a suit, I look good in them. But what we do is we come in and make sure that we search and find every spot of water that you possibly can get. So you see how we do a 2-foot flood cut. We make sure that we completely dry out your structure. And along with that, we make sure we spray for any type of growth that could happen. So we're going to go through it and make sure your home is protected. We have airflow going through all your walls. This is another home I worked on where we did a beautiful cut. My cutting game is crazy, but we did a beautiful cut to make sure this home was dried out perfectly and made sure there was nothing on the studding, no growth, and we went through all that to do that as well. This is a chamber that we set up. So we want to contain any type of growth that goes on into your home. So we actually set up a chamber and cut off that portion of your home from the rest of your home to make sure there's no cross-contamination, because we don't want your kitchen mold to turn into your bedroom mold, to turn into your living room mold or anything like that. So I make sure I'll go in, set up a container using and give the right airflow to keep that contained in that spot only. This is me working on a hotel that I just did. I can't tell the hotel for reasons, but they had a big they had a big issue with molding that we had to contain an entire floor. So this is kind of what it looks like. As I said, this is the home I worked on. We did the drying, we did the cleaning, we make sure it completely dried out. I make sure I do drying standards as according to the IRCRC, which is the standards of Florida drying. And then we come in and replace everything and make it look just like it's supposed to when you come back. So these are all replacement things I did. This bathroom was a complete disaster. There was molding all throughout here. We restored it. We restored this home. That was the home you've seen before. And this was the bedroom I did 3 days ago that I just lit up in there. So this is the restoration services that Voda offers. We offer water damage, of course, fire damage. If you do have a fire, God forbid anybody gets hurt, but we're in to help, restore your home. Smoke damage, store damage. We definitely do odor removal as well. And we do any odor. So if you have that pothead in there that you need that odor taken care of, we got you. This is my line. I am the guy that can help you when anything happens in your home. I don't care what it is, give me a call. I'm also the plug as well, which I tell people. I have a dedicated team that I work with directly of HVAC professionals, plumbers, handymen, all working together as a team when we're coming in to restore every part of your home or whatever happens. You can scan this barcode. This is the emergency line that gets you right to me. I'm open 24/7. I'll answer calls at 3 o'clock in the morning in the midst of sleep. So give me a call, or you can go to my website as well. And I'm Farris Roach with Voda, East Tampa. And I really, really appreciate all of you guys taking a second to listen to me.
Well, that was pretty darn good for a guy who said he has social anxiety.
Shaking the whole time.
Awesome job. So our first question for every speaker is always, what can the community do for you?
Honestly, it's just about protecting yourself. I mean, of course, hurricanes are very, very scary, but don't let it freak you out. If you get water in your home, if you're affected by something, just know the right people to call and who to call. So what I want you to do is make sure that you have the information available to help your home, which I gave everybody those printouts. Of course, call me if something was to happen, but make sure you take care of yourself quickly to be able to go forward with restoring your home.
All right, so we're going to open the floor to questions.
Come on, Dan.
You can call on people as you see fit.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you do commercial?
Do I do commercial?
Commercial?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. I got shown a hotel I just did. It was
Oh,
a
that's
really
right.
big hotel.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was fun. So yes, I do residential and commercial cleaning.
How far out do you go?
I can go all the way to the tip of Sarasota. I cover most of the Brandon, Valrico, East Tampa is my biggest area, but I've gone all the way to Sarasota, Apollo Beach, and things like that. So, truthfully, if you need me, I got you.
Some presentation. You don't look like you have stage fright. But the other piece, you mentioned something that's critical to all this hurricane stuff. That's the insurance. Can you explain or share the importance of having flood insurance? Because people think they have homeowner insurance and that's covered. Could you kind of explain that?
It's very, very important. The biggest thing is I usually tell people, and it's usually when I go into a job, I ask them, hey, are you paying out of pocket or are you going to be using insurance? And a lot of people don't know that flood insurance is a thing and they think it's a part of their renter's insurance or sometimes a part of homeowner's insurance, which it's not. These mitigations can become very expensive. I mean, I've done jobs upwards of $40,000 to $50,000, and these are homeowners that just experienced all this loss in their home, and they don't understand that they're responsible for this payment. So I can also walk them through the insurance policies of what kind of insurance you need and be preventative, like before you even have this loss. Let's talk to your insurance people and let them know, do I have flood coverage? If my water is attacked, I mean, if my home is attacked by water, am I covered for that and up to how much? And it's just like anything, you have a deductible. Sometimes it could be $1,000, sometimes it could be $5,000, depending on the insurance that you have. So, but you definitely want to check into that with your insurances. What's up, man?
So you mentioned houses, you mentioned commercial
Mhm.
and residential, but what about people who like live in trailers? I know that's a big market, that's big too, because if somebody lives in a trailer, there's not that many people to go out there. So do you work on trailers too, or would it help to work on a trailer if they have water damage?
I have, but trailers are a little bit different just because of the flooring that they have. I mean, of course, it's a home on wheels. And the subflooring isn't the same in integrity as like this floor. When we're going into this floor, of course, I'm pulling tile, but there's also subfloor underneath it. When we're talking about mobile homes, it's very thin. Once I pull that floor up, you almost can see the ground. So it doesn't, most of the time, it doesn't matter to go at the mobile homes. You just got to replace the whole floor instead of me trying to go in and get the water out, things like that, because it's already damaged. The material, if it's porous, which means if it soaks up, most of the time it needs to be thrown away. And with mobile homes, 90% of their flooring will have to be thrown away if it had a water damage. Now with this, we can essentially save the tile depending on what kind of materials underneath. There's a lot of vinyl that is waterproof. There's tiling that's waterproof, but we most likely have to pull tiles up and get rid of the subflooring, dry all of that out, put new subflooring on it. Sometimes we can save the tiles and the vinyl floors.
Does that also count for the walls inside the mobile home?
Correct. Correct. Yep. Because a lot of mobile homes don't have the insulation that a regular standard home would have.
Yep. So it can be done, yes. It's not common though. Yeah, it's not common, but it absolutely can be done. If you have a mobile home and you have water in it, I can come dry it out the best way I can, and I can walk you step by step on how to, not have mold growth or anything like that.
Ferris, great job, great presentation. How are you currently marketing yourself, especially with, I'm assuming this might be an oversaturated market, especially in Florida.
Facts.
What are you doing that's gaining clients?
Being me and being everywhere. Like I said, 1 million cups has been an amazing resource for me, being able to meet so many different professionals, but of course, being in BNI's. I'm an ambassador with the Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce. I mean, even Lauren, she sees me everywhere because I see her everywhere. Every time I go to an event or anything like that, I see her looking stylish and like she just stepped out of a freaking walkway. But whatever, I am everywhere marketing, and it's all about education as well. But I'm selling myself too because people like to do business with people they like. Let's be honest. You can call the serve pros and things like that, and they'll come out and they'll do the job. But I'd rather you call me so I can actually have that conversation with you and be empathetic towards what you're going on. You're not just a job. And I have to let people know that. And that's why I gave materials. I want everybody to take that home and put it on your refrigerator because you have to be prepared. And that's the way I market my businesses. I care and I'm going to come do the job correctly. What's up, sir?
So, sir, I want to piggyback on his statement, because it is a very oversaturated industry. So the thought process that I had also was, is there any services that you could provide from a preventative standpoint, instead of just a reactive, standpoint once the flooding happens, but is there anything that you can do for homeowners or buildings or anybody that could potentially run into that situation from a proactive standpoint, but it can also create, a line of revenue for you.
As far as revenue, not so much. It's more so of exposure, kind of like he said. Do go to like homeowners association meetings and things like that to give these types of speeches and let them know here's what you have to prepare for before it happens. Now, of course, the revenue comes if it does happen. They know to call me because I was that person that stood in front of you and said, hey, be careful. But here's what you do if this was to happen. So I want to be in their thoughts when something was to happen. And that, of course, brings me to revenue because they was like, hey, Farris told me about this. I was ready for it. My documents are safe, but now I got to have 48 hours to get this water out. And I want to make sure they're not scrambling around looking for a number in the yellow pages. If you're old enough to remember that, if they're scrambling around looking for that number, they already have my number on that flyer on their refrigerator. And they understand that this fly black guy can come help. Nothing? Sir, what's up?
Hey, great presentation. I love the hurricane checklist that you provided.
Yes.
People love free takeaways. My question for you is, what led you to this specific franchise?
Moving to Florida. I started out in corporate America, and I actually did financing in corporate America for franchise. So I was seeing people that honestly wasn't as smart as me making a lot of money. And I was like, I can do a franchise. So I started to look at different ones. The biggest thing I thought was, again, I'm in Tampa. There's rain, there's water, there's hurricane seasons coming on, and there's restoration out here. Even though it's very saturated, there's a reason for that because there's a lot of work out here to be done. So after doing all my research, I decided to go with restoration because I thought my personality can translate into customer service and to be able to help people out. And that's one thing that I'm big is helping people out. I'm very big into charity work, philanthropy. I do a lot to try to bring to my neighborhood and to the environments around me. And restoration is a way of doing it, but it also gives me a little bit of money as well. But if I can come in and help your home get back to the home that you love after it got invaded by whatever, I'm good with that because I've had people, and again, if y'all ever Google me, I have all 5-star reviews. Just got to put that out there. Just because I treat your home like my home, and I know that kind of sounds cliche, but that's how I feel. Like, okay, your house got invaded. I'm going to come in and help that, and I'm going to take it back to how you loved it. So, and that's one of the reasons I chose restoration work. I almost bought a robot franchise where almost, and then I was like, nah, because AI is going to take over one day and I want to be on their side when it do. So. Ma'am.
Is there a reason why you say East Tampa? Just because I didn't.
It's just, again, I bought into a franchise and there's 2 of us here in Tampa itself. So I decided on the name. They wanted to make it like a Brandon Riverview Voda. I was like, let's just make it East. Let's just make it more broad. So I decided to go with East Tampa. That was just the name I chose because it's technically what I do is East Tampa. Like when we're talking about Marico, Brandon, even though it's more southern, it's not as southern as Sarasota. So I was like, let's go East. So it wasn't nothing really to it. I just thought it had a ring to it and it sounded good.
Okay, because I'm a South, so I was thinking, oh,
Yeah,
you would come to, do you know, that was my first
Yeah,
thought.
that's most people's thoughts. But yeah, it's just think of Farris with Voda. It ain't gotta be east, west, north, south. If you need me, I'm there. So
Farris, you've got that gentleman over there on the
I
left.
was feeling left
I
out.
know.
my bad.
You keep favoring that side of the room.
My fault.
Thank you. I know it put the eye contact.
What's up, sir?
But first of all, great presentation.
Thank you.
Provided great service. I'm gonna piggyback from this gentleman this year.
He's piggybacking.
You've got money right here.
Yes.
This list that you have is a preventative service that you can provide and to keep people in the frame of mind of call you. Because in the time of a crisis or emergency, they're not gonna start talking, what's the name of that guy? They're gonna
Exactly.
think the first person that was constantly in their mind. And so what he was sharing, and what they were both sharing, was keeping in front that constant drip marketing. This is a great drip campaign.
Yeah.
And you can monetize from the very beginning of, hey, when you need me, but beforehand, let's do a checklist of when we come to your house for a quick inspection.
Correct.
Like the HVAC guys do.
Yep.
For $99, whatever,
Mhm.
and get their property. So then they call you immediately and you'll get people that you haven't even thought of, people you never even dreamed of will wind up calling you because they saw that, hey, I want to be prepared. Because
Right.
a lot of people think that way.
Yeah, I thought so too. I mean, like I said, it's all about being informative. And just like he said, it's like, what are you doing before that the damage happens? Because everything else you do when you go to the doctor, you don't go to the doctor when you're sick most of the time. You go to the sometimes to try to not get sick. So same thing with anything that you do. So
You talk about contracting to augment, revenue.
absolutely, I do it all the time. I work with, like I said, I have when I go and talk to property managers in apartment complex, things like that, I don't offer Voda and cleaning restoration for just that. I offer concierge service. So when I say I have a network of people I work with, it's just not people I call out again in the yellow book. It's people that I've done jobs with and we've worked together hand in hand. So when I'm pitching to somebody, I'm saying, I'm not just here to help you with your floors. I'm also here to help you with your cleaning services. I'm here to help if your toilet gets clogged. I don't personally do it, but I have somebody that I trust and I can fully back, and I'm going to attach my name to them. And they do the same for me. So when they're going out pitching plumbing jobs and things like that, of course, plumbing brings water overflow, things like that. So they already say, hey, call Farris. Farris is going to take care of you. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I've made my circle very tight, very good with the professionals that I trust. And I know that they're going to carry on that name and they're not going to mess up my 5-star ratings, which I love. I'm gonna keep saying that. All 5-star ratings on Google. Y'all go leave a Google review. You just say, what can we do? Go to Google, Voda East Tampa, leave a Google review. It ain't gotta be about the business. It can be about me. If y'all loved me, I would love a review saying that because help my confidence.
That is the perfect way to end this.
Yeah, he got one more though. Come on, give me one more. This man, it's a thing. You good? You got it. I
Ask him at coffee break.
Okay, you asked me a coffee break. I appreciate you guys.
I gotta give Dave time to switch presentations here.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Got any change?
Okay, so we'll do a little housekeeping while David sets up our next presenter. So QR codes on the table, if you haven't already, the one that's lying flat, that is a sign in just for today, saying I was here today for 1 million cups. It does not put you on any kind of annoying email list, I promise. The one that is standing up that says sign in here, that is for the ECC, which is the building that we're in right now, the Entrepreneur Collaboration Center. So that will put you on the newsletter, but it's only once a week and it's really good content. But it also helps the ECC track. This is a county building, helps them track attendance and traffic here in the building. So on that note, many thanks to the ECC. They are our awesome hosts. So every Kauffman Foundation event has an in-town sponsor and the ECC is ours. So thank you to them. Thank you to Blind Tiger, who so generously donates our coffee every Wednesday morning. Our rep from Blind Tiger, Julia, is actually one of our organizers, and she had to drop and dash to another coffee shop engagement. But let's also thank and recognize the other organizers in the room. There aren't too many of us today, but if you could raise your hand. Got Tori, I've got David, got Walter, We normally have several more, but we're getting into the summertime and everybody's coming off Memorial Day weekend. But of those of us who are here, if you have any questions about how this all works or how to get involved or anything else that we're involved in here in Tampa, please don't hesitate to ask when the session is over. One more ask. As you can see, Tori is feverishly taking pictures around of all of us. We'd love it if you did the same. We have social media handles on all the major channels. If you want to know exactly what they are, come see me afterwards, but we're on Facebook, Insta, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And we have handles for all of those. So if you grab a photo, tag the presenter, tag the organizers, tag ECC, everything that you guys do to help us spread the word, spread the message, make sure that more people know that this is a resource they can take advantage of, and hopefully we'll see them in the next week or the week after that. Any questions about any of those things?
It's easy. That's it.
Okay, David, I think they got the hang of it.
All right.
All right, so next up, we have Miss Debra Disney, and she's going to be talking to us about microbes. Microbes, magic microbes. Magic microbes.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Man, I have to follow Farris. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I know Farris from the Brandon Riverview Chamber, so I appreciate, I was shocked when I saw Farris. Thank you.
Love you, Deb.
Thank you. Love you too.
Deb, you're going to be great. So
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. So this is kind of, I started Magic Microbes as something else. It was called Flora Boost. And the kids, and I'll get into that in a little bit, they actually liked the name Magic Microbes, so it sounds kind of cute. So I decided to go with that name about a year ago. So I have some brochures that you guys, or little pamphlets that you guys can take, and I want to talk a little bit about it. I don't know if people are familiar with microbes that go into like the soil. It's kind of a new concept, but not really, but there's not very many people out there that talk about it. So I'm pretty excited about it because of some of the things that we do. As you can see, it says on here that it's a healthier soil, better roots, and that it helps the environment. There we go. Magic Microbes, there's nutrients that are involved. It makes the roots more robust. It makes the soil better. It has biostimulant effects on the soil and your plants. If you look at anything that is out there and you say, oh, that looks kind of dead, well, it needs some Magic Microbes on it. And you can do this before you start planting, or you can do it if you've already got plants up and you want to add it. The roots will get bigger and better, if you will, if you put that on. So it's really simple to use. It's a teaspoon of Magic Microbes into a gallon of water, and you just sprinkle it. You do that, like I said, you can do it when you're planting, or you can do it after it's already planted. And you don't need to do it for like another 6 weeks. So that's pretty cool too. You don't need to keep watering. So just do your regular water. We've got some really good, professionals that have looked at our microbes, or when it was called Flora Boost. There's a lady named Dr. Wendy Mussolini, and what she did is she took our product at Hastings, UF, University of Florida, and she put a crop with microbes and a crop without. The 200% yield is what happened when they put the Magic Microbes on there. So it's really great. We've also papers from Waters Agricultural Labs, which is in Georgia, which, analyzes things, knows that our product is organic. We also have a sod farmer in Ocala that uses it. His yield is now 75% higher than it was 5 years ago. It's been around for a while. We've been around for about 7 years. But I do other things. And so this has really got my heart because I know how well it can work with communities. If you can see up here, we've got tomato plants right here. This is without the microbes. They're there. You can see with the microbes how big and strong they grow. Somebody gave a friend of mine a plant. It looked garbagey. Actually, it looked worse than that. And then like not even a month later, I mean, it's producing, I guess those are begonias. I'm the worst gardener in the world, by the way, y'all. But it's really cool what it does. And we've got one of the things that we are very, very dedicated to, and I think it's the next slide, is we have a community garden. So we support a nonprofit called What Would We Be Exchange, and it helps children get the education they need for how to grow something. It gives them the confidence they need. Some of the things that it does is it reduces runoff, which I know we have a problem with red tide down here. I'm not from here. I moved here from Memphis, so, but there's a lot of things that when you use magic microbes, it helps mitigate red tide. But that's another thing I want to do. I want to get a nonprofit that has works on that. So the microbes, when we look at these, again, I mentioned the soil and how much of the yield goes up. 30 to 50% of the yield will happen when you're using magic microbes. It also reduces nitrogen and phosphates, which are in fertilizer. I don't know if you guys are very familiar with fertilizer. I wasn't, so I started doing this. I mean, now, right now, we really have a problem trying to get fertilizer. So in addition to that, it does help reduce what you're using fertilizer wise. As you can see, the red tide incident over there, magic microbes are, will help mitigate that. So the other thing is that, like I mentioned, what would we be exchanged? We are part of that. There's 3 inner city Tampa schools that we're involved with. One is Sulphur Springs, Edison, and Blake High School. We are trying to educate the children to feed their communities. But recently, and I think I've got a video on that next, is the lady that's in charge of radio design. She's wonderful. She just 2 weeks ago, we were out there filming, and she was able to give 600 gallons of produce to the community off of one garden. And again, she's loving our microbes. I think I've got a minute left. Somebody's strong. Can we put the video on real quick? It's a minute. Introducing Diana. I get a couple extra minutes, right?
Hi, I'm Diana Kyle. I'm with a nonprofit called What We Could Be Exchange. We have numerous programs, but our key program is called Feed Folk Kids. And this is where we teach kids how to grow their own food, how to cook it. They take it home. This is an after-school garden experience, and it's totally free. It's free because we can grow so many plants and so prolifically because of magic microbes. So you can look at this dragon kale and you can see how much has been harvested. We literally just harvested this 3 days ago, and we got 600 gallons of kale and collards out of this garden. The microbes just keep the plants healthy. They keep the plants blooming. They keep them growing so that they just are prolific. It's absolutely amazing. We have grown 500 jalapenos on 2 plants. We've grown 500 sweet potatoes. We've grown 600 onions, and they're huge onions. So magic microbes makes all the difference in our garden. We are so thankful that we have them so that we can donate this back to the school and back to the kids' homes.
Can I do the next video, the next slide or no?
Yeah.
Anyway, Diana's wonderful. She's out there every flippin' day doing this. I can't get over how it's hot and the heat. She does it through the summer. She's such a good, commentator, if you will, for our product. Basically, what we're doing next week is we're starting a Kickstarter. We want to be able to research more. We want to be able to produce these on a larger level. We want to help the environment, again, with research on red tide. That's a passion of mine since I've been here. Also, we have community empowerment. We're going to be donating magic microbes not only to inner city Tampa, but some of the other schools out there in the community if they're wanting to start a garden or a community garden. We have a couple of them that we do now that are in different areas. Also, let's see, there we go. Questions? Anybody? Thank you guys for letting me know. I appreciate it last minute. I really did.
Okay, the first question.
Farris, I'm gonna go to you.
Nope, the first question is always, what can we do for you?
Well, I was hoping we were starting our Kickstarter yesterday, but I have a video editor that's very anal that happens to be her brother. And he is like, we've had to retake. I feel like an actress. But if next week, hopefully I'll be back here on Wednesday as we can get out the Kickstarter information so that we can start working on some of the research and stuff that we want to do.
Okay. All right, now you may.
Farris, I'm gonna go with you because that was the first question.
No, I mean, of course you did a great job. I mean, of course you always do, but, one thing like I said, I do support helping others and things like that, and I've seen the amount of food that's being grown. What percentage of this is going to be put towards, helping feed Tampa Bay and things like that?
It all
That
went to the
group that you
community.
Work with.
All
right
went
now.
to the community.
All goes to.
Every bit of it.
100%.
100% went to the community, yeah.
That's beautiful.
Near Sulphur Springs. And I don't know if y'all are familiar with Sulphur Springs. It's a lower income area. These kids, when they came out, it was so cute because the video went on forever and ever because I had to retake. They are just so cute. They're so curious. They want to know what's going on. The gardens at Sulphur Springs are phenomenal. And Diana Kyle has everything to do with that. So yeah, it all goes back to community.
Perfect. How about that?
So I understand you're in a couple of schools and you might look to get into some other schools. I actually graduated Pepin Academy, who has a Green Thumb Club, garden like that, and they deal with special needs. So have you thought about getting into that type of school or schools like Pepin Academy who have kids with special needs that can absolutely prosper from this type of
Absolutely.
idea, and if anything at that, any other schools to go into?
Absolutely. What would be the exchange was our like jumping point, if you will, 7 years ago. And since I've taken over, it's like there's so many people that need this, but I would love to have the information on that. And I've got an email on my pamphlet. I'd love to get a hold of you and talk about that.
I might have a contact for you.
Okay, wonderful. Because that's one of the other things with the Kickstarter, we're wanting to help the communities, especially Tampa. Since I live in the area, I actually live in Palm Beach. I'm so late today because of the traffic. But the Tampa is where I really want to start. We do have a couple of actually 4 different TikTok influencers that are super excited about gardening and getting this out there. So I'm really stoked about that too, because I know how TikTok can take off. But there you go. Thank you.
Wonderful presentation, and I love the concept. I am thinking about some people in my life that love gardening, which is not me because I'm not skilled with it, that could really benefit
I
from
have
this.
some
So,
giveaways.
all right, well, that was gonna be my question.
Yeah.
What are your distribution channels? Because like my older brother, he loves gardening, but he lives in Southern Illinois. So like, how can I tell someone, hey, I heard about this wonderful product called Magic Microbes. You love gardening. Here's where you can go get it. Or even, hey, your birthday's coming up. Let me send you some Magic Microbes. What's your distribution like?
Well, that's part of the Kickstarter.
Okay.
Because right now it is in our homes, in the laboratory, and we're scooping. It looks like I'm doing a little drugs in my house right now. Because it's white, if you can see. So when you get pulled over and you got, boxes of Magic Microbes in the back, they're asking you what it is. Like, try it. See, it's not what you think. But so we're working on that. We do have a website. It's kind of crappy because I put it together. I'm having somebody work on it right now. It's called Magic Microbes with a Z because S was taken and I didn't want to spend 10 grand.
Yeah.
So I have some larger ones for your brother. So if you want to pick this up, it makes 5 gallons. So it's a teaspoon. I might have a teaspoon in here, or might not. The phone number that's on the pamphlet's wrong. My phone number was hijacked, so I have a new number. So if you reach out email wise, I'll send you everything. Okay.
Brief follow-up, is this exclusively for like produce, or because like my roommate, she's got all kinds of green things now. If it tells you anything about what I know, I killed a pothos recently.
I do.
I
get you.
So like, would this be something that she could use? She's got like an olive tree, she's got succulents, like she's got all kinds of things that I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, my chemist tells me it doesn't work on anything that brings nutrients from the air. So like an orchid, I wouldn't put it on orchid, but then you got Diana who's putting it on pineapples. That's working great on so, it's not going to hurt anything. It's fully organic, has lots of bacillus in it. So there's all kinds of different strains that help the soil, help the root. I have a picture of a root with, and I don't think it got up there. I have a picture with and without. I mean, the roots are just gigantic when you put these in. It's so, and again, I'm not a green thumb, but my biggest thing is I'm passionate about the red tide thing. That's where I really want to excel on that. Certain green.
Great presentation.
Thank you.
I guess I'm a little confused. What exactly is in the magic, the microbes themselves? Could you explain that? So
Bacillus
What I'm
is,
hearing, it's
yeah.
almost like it's synthetic, it's lab,
Do you want me-
lab manufactured.
Please, okay, I have my resident nerd over here.
That's gonna help push this further, because
Yeah.
when you said it on TikTok, I see people, oh, gardening,
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
So what the microbes do is they can draw nitrogen in from the air. And they kind of eat it. And throughout the life cycle, as they're dying, they excrete it. So you can use less fertilizer because it's able to extract it from the air.
Fully
Nitrogen,
organic.
Which is very important for
What are these microbes, what are they?
oh, it's bacillus.
Okay.
Different strains.
There's different strains of bacillus. There's also some people are using other strains of microbes, but right now we're focused on the bacillus.
Yeah, so my recommendation is at the outset, explain that.
Okay.
The magic, I know you're probably trying to like copyright intellectual property or whatever. Once you explain what that is, and then just kind of niche down to different use cases, you're gonna get that audience that's gonna support what you do.
Super, thank you.
Two things. First of all, great presentation. I'm a brand new green thumb guy. I had my first season of tomatoes and basil that bloomed, but they didn't look as big. I saw the
I know, right?
on the screen. I was like, I look more like the one on the right. Have you considered like the scouting organizations? I was very active in scouting for many years, and there's for Boy Scouts of America, they have their conservation merit badges and things like that. Girl Scouts, I know they also have a growing. So I would reach out to them. They both have centers here. And then, yeah, I'm like the other guy. How do I get a hold of it? You know, I'm a balcony gardener, so I got everything's just hanging. Love to talk to you about that. But
Okay,
great
wonderful.
job.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Great presentation. I think one of the things you did really well is having like actual evidence of just how much community impact you're having.
Yeah.
Especially like the expert testimonials. I think that goes a long way. Proof that like there's traction. Like that's something a lot of businesses I think struggle to get. But while I was watching your presentation, there were a few questions I kept coming up with that I was kind of getting the answers to, which is one, is this a community service or is it a product that you're like selling for profit? Two is what is the specific problem that you're solving? And three is who is the intended audience? Because I felt like your presentation jumped right into the solution, without really telling us what problem you're solving. So I got all these benefits, but I didn't.
I get, okay, thank you. Well, okay, so, first question was what? I'm sorry, I'm like
No, that's fine. I
ADHD
gave you
too.
that. So is it a product or is it a community?
No, it's definitely a product, okay, that we sell and profits will go to the nonprofit. So we donate already to what could we be exchanged? We're wanting to get the beds that are in, I don't know if you saw the beds when the presentation went. We have education during the summer and people want those beds and we are going to be able to donate more beds to the community, to somebody that has a garden. So that's one of them. We also want to do more of an outreach for other communities, not just Tampa Bay. Okay, so kind of both, you know, we already donate. Second question.
Second question is, what is the exact problem that you are solving?
Well, the problem that we're solving is that we're having more yield in the produce out there. So we've got like in Ocala, where we have the sod farm, we've solved that it's 75% more that he can produce of sod. So we're helping the farmers and people that are in that industry have bigger, better produce, okay, and flowers and that type of thing. So that's really, I mean,
It sounds like that's more of a solution that you're increasing.
The reduction
problem is
of-
low yield.
oh,
Is that correct?
I'm sorry, reduction
The
of,
reduction of the need of fertilizer, actually.
Okay.
You can reduce it by even 30%. That would be huge because then you don't get that excess runoff. It fuels the.
yeah. And that, I mean, and the other thing is the red tide issue. That one's really, I mean, like I said, since I moved down here 3.5 years ago, that has been a big one for me. It will help when the runoff is happening, that Carina brevis that's going on, it strangles the fish. That helps with that. And hopefully I want to, again, separate thing, but I want to get a nonprofit that will help with the solutions of that, have scientific research that will help that. Because right now it's just water is what the most of the research is being doing with red tide, which is not in the water, it's the runoff. So just saying. You, sir.
So to go with what he was saying, I would start with something like that. I've been to the beach before when it's red tide. I was so happy to get a good parking spot. And then I realized that's
Why?
Because, you know, you couldn't breathe out there because we were choking. I've also been to Lowe's and Home Depot and they're like, oh, we can't sell you any further items as well. They're like, we can't sell it right now. You gotta wait till such and such a month. I was like, what? And they're like, oh, because it's a law here in Florida that you can't sell fertilizer at this time. Another thing I want to say, good job as well. I can attest to this. I just was at Edison Elementary. I was a substitute teacher at Edison on Friday, and I was looking around at all the garden. I said, man, got some really healthy things for
I love that. I love
This is
it.
amazing. So when you brought that up, I was like, oh my goodness, that was it. But what I would say is just my suggestion, start with that right there, because you started with the picture of the stuff and that in terms of, but I can still remember, and that was like 5 years ago, going to the beach and my eyes were burning and I was like, I can't sit out here.
Yeah, no, it's bad.
So-
But by the way, we also have a spray that we can put on that to make the smell go away. My chemist is great. We have other things we do with there.
So, have you looked at reaching out to individual counties for their agricultural departments? They are community, a lot of counties in Florida have community garden
Yeah.
setups.
Yeah.
In which they provide everything for people to come garden at. So it might be something to look at as far as trying to get them to
Get
bring
on
this in.
board. Yeah, we did talk to somebody out in Plant City. It's an agricultural line. I can't remember the guy's name. Very interested. He had so much going on at the time that I need to circle back around. But yes, that is a great idea.
Yeah, so go to the county
Yeah.
directly, if
Yeah.
they have departments for it.
I think we have time for one more. There's one more.
Guy in blue.
Question about scaling. Sounds like you got a scaling problem, right? Because your generosity is admirable and valuable, but it's not possible without money.
Right,
And
that's
you
the
don't get money
Kickstarter.
unless you scale. Is that what's the purpose of your
Yep.
Kickstarter? And it doesn't sound like this is a Tampa thing. This sounds like it's a global.
World thing, yeah.
Yeah, so,
It's, yeah,
so how, get clear on what problem you're trying to solve.
money.
And don't, well, your problem is money. But tell me about your scaling. What's the Kickstarter supposed to do? What's Kickstarter doing for you?
Well, we haven't started it yet. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Kickstarter. It lasts about a month.
Yep.
So we're hoping next week, and like I said, my guy's really picking apart the video so that it can be impactful. What we're wanting to do is be able to scale like that, have people purchase and also donate. So that's kind of, and I don't know what else.
Yeah,
we
we can get as many of the microbes as we need, but obviously we need packaging. Education, because this isn't such a foreign concept to a lot of people. And I know there's a lot of moving parts. So we got three major things: distribution and marketing, education. Then we have the schools that we're looking to, and plus you're kind of educating the younger generation, because if they grow up knowing about microbes, that maybe if you can't change minds now, maybe in the future that will. And then the red tide.
It sounds like you're all over the board.
I know.
It's clear in what you're trying to do and go attack it. Do you want to get into the big box stores? Then you gotta do that.
No.
And that means, well, then you gotta get a distribution system, so you gotta build that on your own.
Yeah.
Like, I think you gotta decide whether you want to be educational and nonprofit, or you want to be profit that benefits education. But like your scaling problem, you gotta solve
Yeah.
first would be.
Very true.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was gonna bounce off of that because I was gonna say, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years or so with this company? Like, you're bouncing all over the place.
Yeah.
But
Exit
where do
strategy.
you actually see it be?
Wow, I hold on to that.
I know.
Because then don't get distracted about all those other things are
Yeah.
great. Exit strategy makes you be able to do it personally.
Yeah.
Versus the business, but you won't get there unless you've got clarity on where you want to get to. If that's what you're building for, I would say you gotta get crystal clear on what your track is there. I encourage, get some coaching on business building.
Yes.
You got an opportunity.
I know we're excited about it.
it.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. So thank you guys. Here, and I also, if you guys, these are like a gallon of the little ones. If you guys, for your brother, pick up one of these. Thank you.
Thank you, Deb. That was a terrific job. I think there are a lot of takeaways actually in that last Q&A there that are great for everybody around how do you structure your story, right? And a pitch here in this room is quite different from something that you would give to an investor, right? Because we're not here to ask for money. That's a different pitch and a different scenario. But I think in a room like this, it's a really great sort of framework to follow the problem and who has it, the solution and why it's special, and then how do I put my hands on it? And under the why is it different and special, you can talk about why you're the one. Why am I the person to solve this problem? What's special about me and my team? Goes hand in hand with why the product is special. And sort of overarching all of that, I heard some questions about, is this an invention or is this a business? Which is something we come up with again and again, especially with younger founders and first-time founders. Is it a product, like you said, or is this something I want to turn into a proper business that's got more context to it? And if it's one or the other, it's fine. But if it's an innovation or an invention, be thinking about what is my channel? What is my go-to-market plan that doesn't require me to formulate enough business around it? But the great comments from you guys about scaling and about talking about the problem first, really sharp. So thank you guys for adding in our. All right, so I'm gonna turn it over to David. Thank you guys for coming. Hope you had a fun morning in Ybor. Hopefully you see lots of roosters. I always say more roosters, the better day you're gonna have. So make sure you collect your pictures of roosters. And David is gonna take you through the next couple of days of activities here at the ECC.
Thank you, Kay. So these are coming up upcoming events here at the ECC at the center. So of course we just have 1 million cups, and then at 10:30 with the Hillsborough County Public Library, we have Photoshop. Sam, if you'd like to talk about what that's about.
Yeah, I'm Sam Scaglione. I'm here with the library. We're just going to tell you a little bit about some of the services the library has to offer in terms of Adobe Creative Cloud and Photoshop. So if you're interested in that, come on over at 10:30.
Thank you, Sam. At 12:30, we have Launch a Podcast with Confidence. I believe that's through Action Zone. Podcasts are very popular, as most people know. They want to start one. Join that workshop. We have Prospera at 5:30 p.m. Their Technology Day 4. I believe you don't have to have had to attend the first 3 days, but that is 100% in Spanish. Tomorrow we have Data Analytics by Boomer College of Business. So that usually have a speaker on AI or some type of program to help you use it, utilize it for business. It's a great place for networking and learn more about AI. On Tuesday at 9 a.m. we have Managing Risk and Responsibility with AI with Jeff. What was that?
Oh, yeah. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jeff. Yes, I hold basically 2 sessions over here for operating with AI in your small business. Everyone is an entrepreneur. It's launching a business. So we basically touch on specific topics related to how to utilize the technology and leverage from it. So on Tuesday, we'll be talking about risk and responsibility. Who are you with? Wait, sorry, Jeff. I got your name, Jeff. But who are you with? Like, I'm independent. Just an independent. Yeah. Yes. There's a meetup group basically. Okay.
On Wednesday, of course, we have 1 million cups come back here at 9 a.m. Please feel free to join. We have 2 presenters lined up. At 10:30 of Cigar City Toastmasters. Walter, what is Cigar City Toastmasters?
Lily, if you're looking to improve your leadership skills, that's what we do at Toastmasters. It's a 100-year-old volunteer organization where people kind of work together as a group to help each other with those skills. We meet in this room every first and third Wednesday, right after 1 million cups at 10:30. It costs you nothing but your time to talk. You really count. So
Thank you, Walter. I'm not going to go through the rest, just because the speakers aren't here for that. But if you have any questions on any of these workshops, you can talk to me. You can talk to Eve that's in the corner over here, and then Shayla who sits in the front. Again, if you want to sign up for a newsletter, that's the standing QR code that's on the desk. It happens once a week, maybe twice a week, but it gives you the list of events for the next couple of weeks going on. And then I also want to give one last opportunity for SBDC. We have SBDC here in the house to provide your consulting needs. We have Sean Ferguson. Sean, what is SBDC?
So next week, we're having a starting your business workshop at South Shore Chamber. So if you're interested in getting started, go through some of the licensing requirements. And then next Thursday, finance and banking. So help you understand what it takes to be bankable for funding. That's all. And as always, we have consulting services that we can provide. Just let me know that we don't be able to take care.
Thank you, Sean. That is it. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We'll go ahead and get some network.
You really needed to make a beeline for you. I was so competitive. I'm gonna get my card. Okay.